Welcome back to Building on a Budget Models. I'm Thomas. This is the second part of the Renault Alpine A110 1600S rally car in 124 by Hella. Today we're doing the decals, as I'm pretty happy with how the blue has settled onto the bodywork. It's important to look at some pictures of the real car. However, many of the ones from 1973 are in black and white. I started with the 18 numbers which go on the side. I always feel it's important to start with the biggest decals to make sure that you then have the space. It's quite a prominent horizontal line running down the middle of the doors, so it's important to use some decal solution. Here I'm using some microsol to really help it adhere to those panel lines. The Monte Carlo plate at the top really helps because you can line it up to the frame of the door. These two Alpine Renault decals are exactly the same. It's just important to make sure that they're in the right place. Having built Hella kits from sort of 10, 15, 20 years ago, I have to say that the decals have really improved. They often need to be in the water for slightly longer than some of the other decals which I've used, but the printing is really crisp. They go down really nicely. I always find it's important to refer to both sides of the car when doing kind of symmetrical decals like this, to try and get them in as close to the same position as possible. Here you can see the traditional red and white Rally Monte Carlo plate that goes on the front, with the 18 in the middle, signifying the number of the car. These decals on the side include the drivers' names, Jean-Claude Andruet and Biche. If you haven't watched my unboxing video, Biche was the nickname of Michelle Espinosi Petit, or Michelle Petit as she was at the time. These decals go over where a raised A Alpine logo would go, which I'm very glad that I sanded down, as I had a look at the real car, and the ones that were included on this as a raised detail weren't in the right place and didn't look correct either, so the decals I think will look much better. Now, this next detail is the sort of grille air intake that goes on the front. A lot of decal solution was used here to help it sort of fit to the moulded grille shape underneath. To be honest, you may prefer to paint this instead. There are 5 different Michelin logos which go on different parts of the car. These are all identical, so it's just a case of getting them in the right place. Now, some of the elf logos are a different shape. This one that goes over the front, again, goes over some pretty curved shapes, so decal solution, very important. and this one, as you can see here, doesn't have the black border. Devil, or Deville, I presume, if it's French, made the exhaust pipes, I believe. Now these elf logos that go here on just behind the door are different sizes. The one on this side is bigger, and I'll show you the other one in a moment. There's the logo for the Michelin Man. And this cat logo here is for the company which made the fog lights. Now the reason this elf logo here is smaller on this side is that it fits onto this panel, which I believe is the kind of fuel door. Unfortunately, the panel has raised panel lines, which isn't great, but I'll see if I can add some shading to it anyway. Now the number plate here is rectangular, and they ask you to put it over the top of the keyhole, which is raised quite considerably. Now I had a go at doing this, and I even tried trimming down the keyhole a little bit, but I ruined the decal, so I'm going to have to make a new one. Next it was time to put on the generic details, such as the Renault badges, the Alpine logos. I felt these went on quite nicely. And here's how the bodywork looks with all those decals. Obviously I'll clear coat this after it's been cured for a little while, and I'll get a replacement for the number plate. Now for the engine cover, the sort of boot at the back, there was raised Renault Alpine writing, but I recognised that it didn't match the shape of what the real car would look like, as I'll show you in a moment. Yeah, the Rally Monte Carlo logo goes on the back of the car as well. Now these elf logos are actually supposed to go slightly onto the bodywork of the car as well, but I decided that I didn't want to do that, so I chose instead to just put them on the boot. As you can see here, the Alpine Renault logo goes on the back with the Renault diamond in the middle. I kept the Renault diamond raised, but sanded away the writing so that the decals would appear instead. Pretty happy with how that looks. But because obviously the Renault diamond was still raised, decal solution was really useful here. So yeah, here's the car finished with the decals, with the exception of the number plate at the back, which I will try to print off. Pretty happy with how it's gone down, and I think it works really, really well with this metallic blue. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and I'll see you soon.